Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. Surprisingly enough, well, we know we've got some larger updates, several things ranging from fixing some of the major glitches and exploits in the game, like the drone bug, for instance, with the sledgehammer, going through and adjusting more when it comes to spread and bloom and weapon behavior, things of that nature. We also just recently got some brand new leaks for some future updates in Battlefield 6 and REDSEC as well, detailing some more gameplay updates, some more content updates here to further expand how exactly you can play Battlefield 6. Now, as always, at the end of the day, these are just leaks, so things are always subject to change. Of course, these could be altered, these could be scrapped, they could be pushed back even further. We have no real time frame as to when we could expect to see some of these things actually make their way into Battlefield 6 and REDSEC officially, but it could be potentially later on this season in season 1, maybe with season 2 in the new year. Time is going to tell, and obviously as things evolve over time, we start to see maybe some official comments from the devs themselves, since they are very active on Twitter in the social media space. We see more updates actually leaked and more game files leaked that detail some more specifics. I'll be sure to keep you guys in the know, as I do with everything going on in the world of Battlefield, so feel free to hit that subscribe button, turn on those post notifications. But first up here, we've got a new post from Sean Weber, known leaker and data miner in the community here, talking about a system that we have actually already heard about for REDSEC. You may recall prior to the Battlefield Battle Royale actually launching, when we were doing all the various different leaks and rumor videos building up to the full release of the game and ultimately the REDSEC launch, we had talked about several different gameplay features that had leaked, how you were going to get vehicle keycards to get your tanks, there would be weapon upgrades, custom drops, so on and so forth. Another system that was actually leaked, though, was the oversight system, and now there are new files in game that reference the oversight system coming. And according to Sean Weber here, he does indicate that this will likely be introduced with season 2, and it does seem like it's going to be an exclusive feature just for Battle Royale. So this would not be something you actually have available in Gauntlet. It would just be for REDSEC BR, duos, quads, eventually solos and trios as well, since those are also leaked for what it's worth. But with this oversight system, when we first talked about this, right when it leaked for the very first time, I was really intrigued by it because it's definitely very different from what other battle royales offer. With this, the oversight system allows soldiers out of the fight to stay in the action with remote cameras, drones, and turrets. So essentially what this does is, if your team is knocked out, a teammate rather is knocked out, they're spectating, you haven't gotten to a redeploy station yet, they don't have a second chance anymore, they're just hard out of the game until you potentially get them back, they can still be engaged and help out in game. For this, you have to go through and capture an oversight terminal. So presumably the player or players left up on your squad would have to go through and capture an oversight terminal. There's then also the spy balloon vehicle and the surveillance camera gadget. And what this will actually do is allow this player who is dead, who's spectating, to go through and actually remote access various cameras that are around the map. And so if there's one inside of a warehouse and your team's running up on it, you can say, hey, this warehouse is clear, there's nobody in here. Or you got two players sitting in that corner, go left, and you'll know exactly where the enemies are. Same deal with some of the drones that you could pilot, some of the turrets on the map as well. So obviously makes spectating actually pretty strong. Like, you could have some serious advantages there if you have a teammate that's actually knocked out and spectating, rather than having everybody fully alive and going through the map together. So it adds a really interesting dynamic to REDSEC gameplay here. I'm really curious to see this actually come to fruition, as Sean mentions, potentially here in season 2, because I just want to see how people react. Is this a crazy overpowered system? Is it something that is more so like on the back burner? Okay, it's there, but we'd much rather have this teammate alive for the end game fight, so we're not fighting 1 versus 2 or 2 versus 4 or something like that. Like, you clearly want to get to the redeploy station where possible there. Just really curious to see how this ultimately will play, but the oversight system is on the way here relatively soon, all things considered. And then we also got some brand new information courtesy of Tom Henderson, the man when it comes to inside information, as Insider Gaming posted a new article earlier on today titled 9 new game modes are in development for Battlefield 6's post-launch content. For those looking to change things up a little bit, get outside of the standard conquest, breakthrough, escalation, some of the small map modes like King of the Hill, domination, etc. You've got several other options here, presumably inbound pretty soon. If there's 9 full modes here, it's not like they're going to drop all 9 in one season. It's probably going to be a slow rollout over time, maybe some surprise ones towards the end of season 1, and then some new ones in season 2, 3, 4, so on and so forth, right? Probably going to be a spread out launch rather than having all of them right at one time here. But here is what Insider Gaming goes on to say. Insider Gaming has found that at least 9 new game modes for Battlefield 6 are at various stages of development for all the Battlefield 6 post-launch content. Last month, we revealed that 6 game modes were in development for Battlefield 6. Since the release of the game's first season, more have been added to the game's files. 2 of the game modes that we previously reported on, Sabotage and Strike Point, have already been confirmed to be coming to the game, which leaves Raid, Payload, Squad Shootout, and Tank Hunt remaining for the original 6. So you can kind of make some assumptions based off of the names there. Raid potentially being more of an objective-based one where you might have to go through to a certain location and raid it. Payload could be more vehicle-oriented there. Squad Shootout, potentially maybe like a gun game variant of Squad Deathmatch or something. Tank Hunt, I feel like, is obviously going to be vehicle-based there. But then there's also these 5 new Battlefield 6 game modes. Within the game files, Insider Gaming has also discovered 5 new modes, which are all labeled as prototypes and are seemingly very early on in development. So for what it's worth, we might see Raid, Payload, Squad Shootout, Tank Hunt drop earlier on, maybe as a surprise Season 1 drop, maybe for Season 2 or Season 3. Then some of these following ones a little bit later on, Season 4, 5, further on down the road into, you know, summer, early fall of next year, potentially even. So these game modes are Convoy, Fantastic Four, Gunmaster, Touchdown, and Tug of War. The strings of the files show here that they're listed in Glacier for multiplayer, so they are confirmed to be multiplayer modes here as prototypes. And you've got Convoy, Fantastic Four, Gunmaster, Touchdown, and Tug of War. As mentioned in the Insider Gaming coverage previously, Glacier is the codename for Battlefield 6. While some of these game modes may just be internal codenames, Gunmaster in particular is almost certainly a gun game-like game mode where the player's weapons change every single kill. Traditionally, the player has to cycle through 20 weapons and needs to get a knife kill to win the game in total. Pretty self-explanatory there when it comes to gun game and whatnot, right? Tug of War likely refers to a breakthrough-esque game mode, possibly where players need to capture flags to progress through the map. If a flag is captured, the next flag will push the enemy team back, but can be retaken with the continuous tug of war theme going on there. So breakthrough, but the defenders can recapture and sort of keep the game going there, which can be pretty interesting. And again, of course, for the other ones, you can kind of guess based off some context clues. Convoy, Fantastic Four, Touchdown. Touchdown maybe is going to be like a moving an objective style thing, maybe like an uplink or a blitz from Call of Duty, for instance. I got no clue on Convoy or Fantastic Four, though. I mean, feel free to drop your ideas, your concepts on what those could be down in the comments below. Curious to see your guys' thoughts there. But some new REDSEC updates confirmed to be coming here based off of the leaks with the Overwatch system, which really will change things up, I think, pretty drastically as far as gameplay goes. And then a whole lot of mode content potentially coming throughout the both near future and long-term future as well here for Battlefield 6. That being said, that is going to wrap things up for this one. If you guys enjoyed the video, do me a favor, drop a like. It's always seriously appreciated. And as I mentioned earlier, if you want to stay in the know for everything going on at Battlefield, be sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on those post notifications. But once again, thank you so much for tuning in. And until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you later. Peace out.